took a picture, and they could have theorized on the cave painting and maybe have had a better insight than they do right now. The whole telling Ethan to shush.
It's dark as shit inside this poor
Why
job.
are you telling Ethan to shush?
Yo, welcome to Philly, baby. Yo, man, it's been a long day. Alright, I finally got to sit down a little bit when, I was watching SBK. Whoo, look, man, shout out to SBK. Shout out to I Said What I Said. Alright, shout out to Hassan. He hit that piano, yo, for real, for real. Alright, but damn, I've been doing a lot today, man. I had to take my daughter to school earlier, and then from there I had to come over here. I had to write some more pages in my book, and then from after that I had to go get my daughter out of school early, take her to her appointment, come home, clean up, cook, and do what I had to do. And boy, I'm telling you, man, I'm tired of shit, man. I was thinking about trying to work out, but I don't think I'm gonna work out. I hopped on SBK's panel for a little bit, man. He was talking about politics. He brought up what was going on with Trump and much more. And I've been focused a lot. Like, speaking about, he brought up Trump. It got me to start thinking a lot about what we've been talking about here within our own community. Shout out to Jose Ferrano and Elizabeth for bringing out the Hunting Park Green program here to Philly. All right, trying to get these kids, into these programs to get, to become mentors, leaders, bosses, entrepreneurs, right, and much more. And I feel as though a lot of our young men should, participate in this, right? We got the Girl Scouts for the girls, the youth roundtables for both the boys and the girls, right? But I feel as though we got to try to get more of our boys off these streets for real, right? Especially with how the gun violence is escalating here in Philadelphia. Okay, I'm trying to see how we gonna go about a lot of this. I gotta see Getty Losava. She was in my daughter's school the other day, and I had to leave early because I was trying to deal with my son because he's part of the mentor program, right? And I love this little program. Why they opening the Chinese store back up? I don't know what the fuck is happening. And I love what they're doing with this program, right? So I gotta keep saying shout out to Jose Ferrano, Elizabeth, all right, for Lisbeth, my bad, for starting this program out here because like they had them painting the other day, all right. I think they had them playing around with the little kids, like being mentors to the kids, right? Well, they were doing these little the autism speaks project going on the other day within these schools. All right, I think on Saturday they're gonna be having them plant trees and stuff out like that. And like I said, I was saying in SBK's live earlier, man. Listen, was it an SBK live? I'm not sure. I think it was SBK. Shit, listen, I'm tired of shit. You can tell I'm tired. All right, but like I was saying to SBK, man, my daughter just got her first little paycheck off the program. All right, like. She went there, participated 3 times. I think it was I think 3 times, and she got her little paycheck, $120. All right, for them 3 times that she participated, and she felt good. She felt happy that she made she made some money. So like that's what I've been trying to do here. All right, shout out to I Said What I Said because we are the ones. All right, she says it. She didn't just say it on SBK panel. All right, she says it on her panel a lot. Like we are the ones that could make these changes and these differences within our communities. And this is something that I've been saying a lot, especially when we bring the politics topics up and stuff like that. But like I said, these programs really benefit our young men, trying to get them off these streets from slinging drugs to carrying these steels out here shooting each other for no good reason. For real, man. Like these kids out here, losing their lives for nothing, for real, for real. Like there was I think not so long ago, I was just looking at the case of Imani here in Philadelphia, right? I think it was in Southwest Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, or in West Philadelphia, where she went to work and she stepped outside, I think on her break or something like that, and she grabbed a slice of pizza, and she got shot down 18 times. All right, she wasn't the only one, but it's crazy as hell, right? She wasn't expecting that day, to go to work, go on break, have her last slice of pizza and not be here no more, while she's on a phone call, with her grandmom, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. All right, like the gun violence is really, really escalating here in Philadelphia. Like, listen, there's a reason it went from, the city of brotherly love to Philadelphia. Oh, I guess somebody made an order. Blessings. I'm not sure who. I think somebody made an order. I'm trying to see who's that in the chat. Blessings to Nisa, the queen. Welcome to the live. But yeah, man, SBK, that was a great live that you brought today, all right? I love what I said on there, John. And she was speaking some facts. And, I love the fact that she, gave me a different perspective when it came to the federal, all right? Look, listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie. A lot of y'all know, how I feel when it comes to these politics, right? Red and blue, I feel as though we fighting for crumbs, all right? Like, y'all seen me. I've been in the midst of this shit, right? Especially with the senators, the governors, all right, the mayor. Listen, I've been in the midst of it all right, with the judges and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, listen, it's like you have to really pay attention, right, within the circle, and listen closely to really see who really, how can I say, benefits, all right, your community, who's really there for your community, all right, because a lot of these people don't really care about the community. They just want, chaos to really flaunt. For real. We got Joe in the building. Oh shit, man! Shout out with Thriving Glow, Thriving Glow with Joe. Yeah, I was reading. I'm like, wait, I know I'm not saying her name right, man. Listen, shout out to Thriving Glow with Joe. All right, make sure y'all go check her out. Great conversations, great topics. All right, listen, like I said, man, SBK brought a great topic up. All right, and goddamn little fucking Hondas or Toyotas or whatever they are, yo. He brought a great topic up. With everything that's going on, like, I feel as though, yeah, like, listen, I feel the same way, all right? The same way I feel for Joe, I feel for Trump, all right? And he ain't the only one. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I think I said the same shit for Bush. All right, I don't know if Obama is younger than all of them. All right, I forgot who they said was the youngest president before. Was it Reagan? All right, we need to bring, we listen, some way, somehow, they need to bring in some fresh blood, all right? Younger presidents. Stop bringing these old heads, all right, into, how can I say, to lead our country. Like, I get it. They should have wisdom. They should have knowledge, but listen, man, ain't none of these presidents really, proven that they really here for our country. I don't even think America has control of America anymore. Right? Like, I constantly hear people saying it, but I don't know if we second guessing ourselves, doubting ourselves, or what the hell is going on. But what I do know is that our communities are paying the effects, all right? Like, when it comes to these programs, right, like I said the last time, all right, some people thought I was crazy. Some people think that what I'm saying, it's some real shit, some legit shit. Right? But when you sit down and you think about it, right, a lot of us are trying to start a lot of organizations, trying to help the youth, trying to get them off these streets, right? But I was taught lead by example, right? And something that drew my attention was when I was talking to somebody, right, that from the table. Right, like, listen, one of the big guys up there that really make them decisions, especially like when it comes to like the Board of Education and stuff like that, right? Well, look, like they told me you have to build, how can I say, your own board. There you go, one of the members from the board. All right, they was like, you have to build your own board, and start off like that. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that I could do that. I didn't even know that I could build my own board. All right, and sit at the table with the politicians until I got really in there and started talking to them. Oh shit! We got the beautiful Miss Chicago in this joint. Yo, shout out to Miss Chicago. I gotta come outside so y'all can see me because my porch is dark as hell. Man, shout out to Miss Chicago, man. Listen, I love Miss Chicago. Y'all just don't understand. Cause listen, y'all won't understand if y'all ever see Miss Chicago hit a panel. All right, cause she be like Scorpion, get over here. All right, I love me some of Miss Chicago, yo, and she be spitting them gems. But back on topic. All right, with my crazy little shout out as. Let me flip this damn camera. There we go. But like I was saying, all right. If watching on your phone and using I'll be in the midst of all this shit. And okay, damn, she did have a few orders. That's why she opened up the gate like that. But like I was saying, a lot of these, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of us, right, need to figure out whether it's through fundraisers or what. But we need to find a way, like, you know, like for example, I'm gonna put me. I want to start a little small community center, right? And I know I'm gonna have trouble trying to get funds and all that shit. Even if I get a table, you know, how can I say, a chair at the table with my board members and all that, right? Me seeing how they move, how the government, you know, moves around and stuff like that, trying to give the funds to the kids, you know, to these programs and all that, right? I see that it takes a minute. So, like me, one of my ideas is, right, we all got little businesses. We should be coming together. You see where I'm coming in, chipping in. Like, all right, like for example, me, like when it comes to like the t-shirts, right? I'm gonna put merch, all right? If you sell merch, right, whether it's t-shirts, hoodies, you know, joggers, all right, whether it's like, all right, I'm gonna put it like this: you make ashtrays, or you make cream. Well, creams is not considered merch. But anyways, y'all get my whole point. But if you got your own little, you know, small business like that, right, to the side, right, it's something that you got like as a side hustle, like I do. I got my little t-shirt business as a side hustle. Sometimes I get the little young bulls together. I let them use the machine, make their own little logos, and go sell out their clothes and make their money, right? I got everything ready for them, the shirts and all that. Well, I feel as though we got little things like that on the side, right? And that's just that extra money to, you know, do what we got to do and what we want to do. Like, use that money, right, to, like, you know, hold off the project that you're, you know, building, and keep using that money to invest in that project, you know, and still get the funds from the government. All right. And at the end of the day, you know, when the government is not able to pitch in or help you, got a stash put to the side. Man, I may sound crazy, but y'all not understanding, all right? I be at these meetings, these long ass hour meetings that they be having out here, right, in Philly, and I be paying attention. I be listening. I listen to the parents the same way that when I come live, I want to hear people's opinions and people's perspectives, because that gives you a better understanding, all right? Like when it comes to the roundtable program that Jose Verano and Elizabeth has started, little fucking Hondas, and Toyotas, they always making noise. But like I was saying, like when it comes to these programs that, you know, like with the one that Jose Ferrano and Elizabeth is trying to start here in Philadelphia, right? And they already started it, and it's working, right? And we try and get more kids into this job so that, you know, these kids could, how can I say, it's kind of like a head start, all right? Like they learn, like I told y'all earlier, become bosses, entrepreneurs, leaders, and much more. Kind of like what Girl Scouts teaches the girls, right, when they're in Girl Scouts. But they're out here putting that footwork in. They're not selling cookies, right? So like it benefits these kids a lot, and these people, like people are trying to get these organizations out here, these programs started, these kids motivated, and we have to find a way to draw the attention of these kids, right? And they got this one, you know, how can I say, this one phrase in the program, right? Like, our kids' voice matter, right? And when they put these kids at the round table, right? These kids put their ideas at the table. They try to put solutions on the table. And, you know, how do they think, you know, what research can we bring into the communities? Well, how can, you know, we better our schools? How can we better these programs? What do they think is missing? You see where I'm coming from? Like, their voice really does matter. How do we help them if we don't listen to them? And like I constantly tell people, man, these kids are telling us, right? They screaming from the top of their lungs what it is that we're missing and what's needed within our communities, but people ain't really listening. All right, and I'm glad people are coming together and doing this, because it's kind of like the kids are being left out. They say all lives matter, right? But so many people are complaining about black and white, but y'all forgetting the kids. All lives matter. I understand that racism exists. I understand that, you know, listen, man, I fight for, you know, I fight for everybody within my community, but I get where a lot of people are coming from, all right? Listen, if you know me, you know that what runs through my veins is Arabic blood, all right? I'm a mixture of everything, all right? I'm a mutt. All right, I got African, Jamaican, Haitian. All right, I got Puerto Rican. I got all of that inside my veins. All right, that shit's floating through my veins. All right, but I can't sit here and deny the fact that, when a black brother is walking down the street, you see where I'm coming from? The cop would chase him before he'll chase a Puerto Rican brother. All right. Now, if a Puerto Rican brother is getting chased out in the street, it's because his skin is not really, really light. All right. He looks like he's a black brother. And it's unfortunate that, our men got to go through this here in Philadelphia or anywhere else. Getting styled by the cops, all right, the most. And our black women go through it the most, too. But I fight for our men the most because it's like our women get heard, but our men get pushed to the side. It's like, all right, I'm going to put it like this, all right? This is America, right? Where a teen girl decides to get pregnant and she gets all the support in the world. All of it. But if a teen boy gets left with the baby in his hands, it's kind of hard for him to get the support. He'll get it, but not as fast as a teen girl would. All right? So people may think I'm tripping with what I'm saying. They might not want to hear it. You see where I'm coming from? But I'm trying to put different examples of what's going on, all right? I live in a diverse community, all right? It's a lot of Puerto Ricans and a lot of blacks mixed together, all right? And a lot of us get along. Some of them don't. So it's kind of like, look, listen, I ain't looking at the color of the skin. I'm looking at, the person within you, the behavior, how you treat others. Because how you treat me depends on how I'm going to treat you. That's why I constantly tell people, man, if you hear somebody tell you, man, she's a bitch, believe them. If you hear them tell you she's a sweetheart, believe them, because I could be both depending on how you treat me. All right? So we need to learn how to get it together. Unity is what's missing. And SBK, I just said what I said that constantly on that live. And listen, they had a great live. I love it. If y'all ain't check out SBK, make sure y'all do. I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone, so I can't even put the, exclamation mark SBK so that y'all can go check him out. All right, go check out I Said What I Said. Like, listen, they were spitting some gems. But at the end of the day, like I tell a lot of people, all right, our voice matters locally. It matters more locally than what it does federal. Like, if people, listen. I hear a lot of people, right, within my community say, they use a lot of the phrase by any means necessary. Malcolm X this, Malcolm X that. Or, Martin had a dream. All right, nothing against Martin had a dream, but listen, I completely understood what Malcolm X said when he said by any means necessary, right? He also said we have to find a way to infiltrate, and he told us how to do it. But ain't nobody paying attention. Listen, if enough of us together, that really rocked out with each other, and and it's crazy because we live in an era where you can't trust nobody, especially when it comes to coins, all right, digital currency and any of that, all right. But if enough of us that really, did trust each other, cared enough for each other, that really cared enough for each other, that say they did for each other, was to come together, purchase a land, build some properties on that shit, build a little community center, build a a little park, build and get the resources for that land. And some people can live at peace. They got their own. And they started, like, kind of, listen, man, I can go deeper into this, but a lot of people don't really care. This is why I talk more about this within my community and stuff like that than what I do online. Because when it comes to social media, right, a lot of people's going to scroll right by what I'm saying. Right? Because this is not for everybody at the end of the day. I know that what I'm saying is not for everybody. It's going to hit where it has to hit. All right? It might hit somebody, a couple of weeks from now. You see where I'm coming from? And I appreciate all those that, are coming through, stopping by, all right, supporting the shorty right now while she's live, right? Like, I really appreciate that. But, like, I tell people, man, I know that what I say, what I do is not everybody's cup of tea. The same way that what a lot of people out here do and say is not my cup of tea. So, what I'm saying, right, who it needs to reach is going to reach eventually. But a lot of us need to pull the bullshit to the side. A lot of us need to grow up, and it's unfortunate that a lot of people are out here, adults, but they haven't fully they haven't fully grown up, right? They haven't fully matured, all right, sexually, mentally, all right, or spiritually. There's so many ways I can go about this. So the issue is us. Can we make a change? Can we make a difference? It's up to us. All right, a lot of us lack the, how can I say, a lot of us lack the knowledge, the history. And in order to understand what's going on today in the present and how to fix, put the solutions on the table and fix what's going on, what's going to happen in the future, man, you have to dive down into that past, all right, and learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. For real, all right? People don't understand that part. They end up in a ditch, all right, being a part of the goddamn mystery, not even knowing it. Because we're not supposed to dive these rabbit holes to dwell in it, all right? We're supposed to dive in these joints to learn from it. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm about to get off this joint. I wasn't planning on staying long. I just wanted to give a big shout out to SBK. All right, I just said, I said what I said. They had a great live today. Listen, a lot of more people need to talk about it. Bring these topics up. Why they so scared? I don't know. All right. It's like I was just telling my daughter, right? It's not what you said, it's how you say it. Some of us say some shit, in a messed up way, and it wasn't your intention. You see where I'm coming from? We humans at the end of the day. That wasn't your intention. There ain't nothing wrong with just correcting what you're saying and, letting people know exactly what you meant.
And so, because Satan is called ancient serpent, there was a serpent in the garden.
All right, guys. With that being said, let me get off this, John, because I'm gonna go live this weekend, and I gotta get up early as hell. All right, I gotta start this day over again, and it's gonna be one crazy day tomorrow.
The garden is a different serpent. That's cool. For this theory video, they're one and the same. So, ancient serpents, Satan.
Oh snap! We got the hubby in the building. Shout out to Ryder, Mr. Ryder, baby. Big shout out to the fiance. All right. But let me get off this joint, man. I hope a lot of people gain something from what I said, understood what I said. But listen, go out there, learn your history, all right, learn your policies, learn your laws, so that way nobody can sit here and play you. All right, I think that's what they fear the most. Maybe I could be wrong. All right, is when we really learn these laws, these policies. All right, the amendments, the Constitution. See, a lot of people don't really know them, but a lot of people is learning them little by little. All right. Little by little, people are getting, how can I say, gaining knowledge of these things. Like, for me, then, I got to give a shout out to my fiance, all right? Because he was the first one to walk into my life and really, take the time, have conversations with me, all right? And listen, he ain't mind that I sat here and questioned and, said a lot of stuff. Like, he didn't even feel offensive when I would, sit here and think that I knew something better than him or knew something more than him. Like, nah, he just like, all right, I told you so. So I gotta give a shout out to him, all right? Because he's kind of like my, how can I say it? I don't even know how to explain it. Damn, Jesse's, what time is it? Jesse don't normally be opening that gate at this time. Ah, shit. Let me get off this, John. I'll see y'all on the weekend. Considered extremely attractive, the best of the best. That's